Yeshua, your King of praise. Shalom, everyone. This is Messianic Rabbi Buzz Tremé, the Jew teaching you. Welcome to our Bible study. Yeshua, you are the way. Yeshua.
The third phase is that we inherit the land and the kingdom is established there. The Mount Zion, this is over on the other side. Mount Zion is that place in Jerusalem that David set up as a place of worship where he established the tabernacle of David and worshiped the Lord with music and with singers round the clock in Jerusalem. Everybody that came to Jerusalem looked up to Zion, and there was the Ark of the Covenant. There wasn't a bunch of religious ritual. There was no altar to make sacrifices. There was no laver for washing to remove the dirt of sin. There was none of this. There was simply the Ark of the Covenant, a symbol saying God is in covenant with the nation of Israel. And the sides were rolled up for all the nations to see, and the only worship that took place there was the praise and worship of the children of God to Yahweh. Woo, is that good? And this is called the Tabernacle of David. Sukkah David, the Tabernacle of David. Mishkan David, all different words for it in Hebrew. So that thing is still standing. But Zion was to be the capital city, and the Mount Zion, the highest place in Jerusalem and the highest place in the world. The Bible tells us that the land of Israel gets transformed and becomes like the garden of God. So biblically speaking, there's a big story. We got caught up in a trap when we fell for the Roman teaching. Everything is allegorically, you treat it allegorically. If you read about Israel, you're really talking about the Roman kingdom, the Roman Empire. That's what was taught. And it passed into Europe and into America. And we still kind of act like that. Sometimes we act like the United States is the kingdom of God. Far from it. But we're seeking the kingdom. First the kingdom. So Zion is how it's pronounced in Hebrew. Zion in English. Zion. And the letters that spell it, it's a TS sound. Tse. This letter is called a tzadeh. Tzadeh. And it provides the speaker to say TS. You know, our letters A, B, C, D, they provide for us the sounds A, B, C, D, right? You know, we say words. Well, the tzadeh is this letter, and it's actually a picture of a man on a journey. And notice here, there's a decision to be made. Which way are you going to go? And so, this letter in Hebrew, letters are used to convey an idea of what the word is trying to describe or say. And the next letter is called the Yod. Y-O-D in Hebrew is how you would spell it in English. That's the jot. Remember, Jesus said, every jot and every tittle will be fulfilled. The tittle are all the little diacritic marks like that. That tells you the sound, the vowel sound that follows this consonant. Tsi. Tsi. Isn't that cool? The next letter is the symbol of an arm reaching out. This is the mountain of Zion, where the Lord will dwell forever and rule the world. Arm reaching out. So you have a man on a journey, and undoubtedly it's going up to Mount Zion is quite a journey, huh? Israel has spent much of their life trying to get there, haven't they? Yeah. And we as well, because big Gentiles, you're grafted in, heirs to the promise. The land is your piece of real estate forever. Glorious when a new heaven and a new earth exists. New Yerushalayim, New Jerusalem. So Zion is the main focal point of Yerushalayim or Jerusalem. and it is becomes synonymous with the city. All right. So you have a man on a journey. That picture is conveyed. A man reaching out, and here is a nail. A nail. And you think, oh, what could that mean? It's also the number 6, which is the number of man. So you have a nail. Well, this particular symbol is simply telling you in this word, as you are interpreting it, add these 2 symbols to this one on this side. So it's an and sign. This is not a Hebrew class, but it sure fits with what we're doing. Hebrew is on Thursday nights. So, Tzion, this O here, this symbol is the nail, and it's saying, attach these 2 to this meaning. What is this right here? That's called a nun. It is the seed. It's the seed. The ancient symbol would have been written like this. We all recognize that. It's the seed. That's the ancient Hebrew symbol. Okay? This is the modern, and I say modern from the 500s BC. This style writing came in. This was the old style. And so anyway, I'm trying to shorten this. So the seed here in mind is this. When you use it in a word, you're telling the reader that this word has to do with continuation, continuing of life. For instance, the word, that's a B, usually has that. That tells you it's a hard B and not a soft B like a V. It's a B. And this is the vowel sounds, and this is the seed. So you have the house and the seed, and you pronounce that ben. And ben is the word son. So out of the house comes the seed. Out of the house comes the seed, and that seed is referred to as the offspring or the Ben. Ben David. Yeshua is called Ben David, son of David, son of David. So this is how Hebrew works. These letters are pictures that show you something. And so once you know the meanings of these letters, like this being a journey, a symbol of a road that a man journeys in life, and this is a symbol of an arm reaching out, and this is a symbol of a nail which says join these 2, nail them together for one complete meaning, and the seed. So you have a man on a journey making the right decisions, reaching out, and that idea is then nailed to the seed. Reaching out to the seed. And who's the seed of Abraham? Yeshua. Who's the seed of David? Yeshua. Who is the seed of God? Yeshua. Who is the seed that God spoke of would be in the woman Eve so that she could crush the enemy's seed? Yeshua. So do you see this, how this works? These words, this is why I encourage people, learn this language. And look, I've now been playing with or studying and teaching the language for 11 years. Can you believe it? I don't know where those years went, but God has opened it to me, and I can teach it so much better than I did because the key's turned. I see it. It's no longer a mystery. It's just a beautiful language, and I can't help but share it with others. And so in so doing, the Bible changes its wording into living pictures describing events. So Zion, the mountain of the Lord, is a place that you journey to, you reach out to, and there, what is at the end of it? What do you join to? You join to the seed of God, Yeshua, the Messiah, Jesus. We could stop there. We've been blessed, huh? We're not. Okay. So, with that message, I'll go ahead since we're on this Hebrew little journey here. This word right here, in Hebrew, remember, goes right to left. I assume everybody knows that. I'm reading this right to left. Tzion. Ben. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Ben. That's how you read. Okay? That's a doorway or a door. Think about a tent. Early days of the nomadic Hebrew people. They lived in tents. They were happy. They were nomadic. And inside the tent, you had a piece of skin that you would pull back, to go in, right? Sure. So it's called a dalit. D-A-L-E-T. Sometimes you'll see it spelled dalid. It's all because we're trying to say something that is a Hebrew word and we're trying to make it, spell it out in English. But remember this, the English word lid is from this Hebrew root. The lid is the dalit. Dalid. Notice we say the lid in Germanic languages, dalid, etc. So do you get where I'm going? The dalit. If there is a door on top of a pot, you close the door to what's cooking, huh? Y'all are staring. You've got to get it. So you have a pot of food cooking, and you put a dalit on it, a door. That's where the idea of the word lid comes from. It's actually from that. So what I'm trying to show you is, if it's a door like on this building right here, dalit, it's a dalit. You go through the dalit to go out and come in. So you could say it's a doorway or it's a door, but it's the Hebrew word door. This symbol is the dalit. It's the Hebrew D, dalit. This is the name David, and it would be pronounced David. David. This is that same letter. It's the symbol that says join. It's a nail. Number 6, it's a man, and it's saying join. This is saying join this door to this door. And in so doing, you pronounce that David. Okay? It could be Davod, which means to give love out or give affection out. But David says it's a recipient of the love. David, we say David. However, in Louisiana, we often say David because we have many people here with that name. And with their originally Hebrew and then French roots, it's David, okay? English loves to say the long A. They changed it in the 1500s. The long A, as in father, was changed to A as in cake. Okay, that's English. All the other nations, when they see an A, it's A. So David is the letter. This is a picture of two doors joined. God made a covenant with David that his son or his offspring, his seed, would be the eternal king who would be the Messiah, the anointed king. His kingdom would have no end. First over Israel, then over the nations, over the universe. David. So, when God, and I'm going to show you the scriptures on all this. I'm just giving you the picture here because that's what I'm doing. So David's name, isn't it a beautiful name? David's name, and very often, I added very often it's just a straight line. It means a nail. A lot of times we draw it in modern Hebrew with the little, just so it's prettier. Okay, so this is the word David. David. When David said, "How will I know that you're really going to do this for me?" And as was the house of Saul, God said, "Greater is going to be the house of David." He said, "You want to build a house for me, David?" No, I'm going to build a house for you. So the descendants of David would be those under his love and care and protection and blessing. We thank God that the faithful are in that house, and includes Gentiles as well. Isn't that beautiful? And so he says, "How will I know?" And God said, "Look up." to the sky. The sun, the moon, the stars, the heavenly bodies are the witness. This is the sign. As long as anybody can look up and see stars and sun and moon, you know that God's promise, the Davidic covenant, still stands. This seed of David is going to rule forever. He will sit on David's throne, ruling the house of Israel forever. And we're going to look at those scriptures. It hasn't happened yet, but we need to adjust our theology to realize, why do you think He's returning to the earth to glorify His people, so that they at last will be qualified to rule the nations as He promised they would? Isn't that beautiful?
Show us your